Hey you! Happy 2024. We are absolutely ecstatic that you joined us today on Act 3. Thanks for being with us. And on today's program, we have some wonderful guests that are going to share with you some very important topics. And hopefully some of the things that we're going to share with you, you'll want to participate in. You'll notice I haven't told you who any of our guests are, and it's because I want to keep it a secret so that you can enjoy it moment by moment as it unfolds in front of you. So go grab yourself a warm beverage, come back to your spot, and enjoy the program. Thanks for tuning in to Act 3.
I'm sitting on the edge of love and happiness. Never experienced such a moment as this. So if you got that good feeling in your body and you want to bring this moment to life, come with me, we'll hit the town. Let's go right now and live the life. I just want to shine like the sky up like a sunset, living with no regrets. I just want to shine.
A brain injury can happen to anywhere, at any time. And no one knows that more than the executive director of the Nanaimo Brain Injury Society. My guest today is Citton. Hi, Kix.
Hi, Dean.
How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Wonderful to be here.
Yeah, thanks for joining me.
Absolutely.
So it's a new year. We're
Yeah.
all about looking after ourselves and getting into new routines. I was wondering if you could talk today on some of the top items or things we can do to promote brain injury recovery or just generally brain health.
Yeah, it's a great question. And you can think about whatever we're doing for the body that keeps us healthy is also helpful for keeping the brain healthy. So we can start with healthy eating, looking at fruits and vegetables, a variety of food. Omega-3 fatty acids are said to be good for the brain, and that's found in fish and nuts and seeds. I want to shout out to a wonderful organization called Nanaimo Food Share.
Yeah.
They do the Good Food Box, which is a variety of fruits and vegetables on a pay-what-you-can basis. So they make it very accessible and very affordable. We can look at good quality sleep as well and how important that is for folks. Brain injury can cause a lot of fatigue for people because the brain requires a lot of energy. It's known as a glucose suck. So we want to try to create routines to help us promote some good sleep habits. So about an hour before we're going to sleep, we want to think about winding down.
So maybe not so much social media,
Yes,
not so many screen time.
putting the phone
Right.
down, getting into a nice sleep routine so that we can relax the nervous system and prepare ourselves for sleep. So if we've got our healthy eating and our healthy sleeping, then when we wake up, we can think about drinking a big glass of water. So getting enough water throughout the day to stay hydrated, and drinking that big glass of water first thing in the morning is going to kickstart your metabolism and give you energy to get on with your day.
Nice.
So then we can look at physical activity as well. So checking with your healthcare provider as to what kind of exercise works best and is appropriate. But we do know that aerobic exercise, getting the heart rate up, promotes the production of what's called BDNF, brain-derived neurotropic factor. And this is known as the miracle grow for the brain. It's like fertilizer creating a beneficial environment for neuroplasticity, for the brain to create those new neural pathways. And then finally, we want to look at ways to reduce stress. How can we let the nervous system relax into its natural rhythms? So either accessing professional support through counseling, doing yoga or mindfulness meditation exercises, spending time outside, spending time in nature. And one thing that we all have with us is the ability to focus on our breath. There's a wonderful breath coach in town called Tyler Houston, and he did a workshop for Nanaimo Brain Injury Society, and he taught us that the nose is for breathing and the mouth is for eating. So when we're breathing through our nose and really focusing on lengthening the exhale, that gives the body the signal to relax. So it really helps us be able to control our our stress response and give ourselves that space to feel into our natural rhythms. Yeah.
Incredible. So for those that are watching today, could you tell us the different sort of types of brain injury? I think people are confused about what a brain injury might be.
Yeah, so when we talk about brain injury at the Nanaimo Brain Injury Society, we talk about acquired brain injury. So that means something has happened to the brain after someone was born. So it's not a disease process or something that's happened before the person was born. So a brain injury can be a stroke, traumatic brain injury through an accident, a motor vehicle accident, something that's happened, like an external force that happened to damage the brain, or it can happen internally. For example, we can think about anoxic or hypoxic brain injury as caused by a drug overdose, when someone stops breathing. So these are the different ways that a brain injury can occur.
Well, it's fascinating. If you're watching today, the Nanaimo Brain Injury Society is on Battiston Road, downtown.
Bastion, yeah.
Bastion, sorry, not Battiston, Bastion. I'm new to Nanaimo. You can go there. It's a non-bearing clinic. You can walk in and get support.
Yeah.
And you can get references to move forward to become more regulated or more successful moving out of brain injury. Yeah, well, great. Well, thank you so much for coming today. I really appreciate it. Again, it's the Nanaimo Brain Injury Society. The website is nbis.ca. And we're going to throw over to Jeremy, and he's got some good news about pianos.
Everybody knows that Vancouver Island is a source of some of the greatest music in the world. And our friend Nico Rhodes is here to tell us about his latest musical venture. Hi, Nico.
Hello, how are you?
Good. What's going on with you?
I mean, it's a very exciting time. First of all, Happy New Year.
Thanks, Happy New Year.
Thank you. Yeah, of course. I'm remounting a show that I wrote with my best friend of 30 years, a fellow Nanaimoite named Patrick Courtin. And it's called Piano Heist. It's our own take on the dueling pianos, piano comedy acts that have been so historically classic. We premiered the show last year at the Port Theatre, and we're back by popular demand, as it were. This fantastic community has offered so much support to us over the years, and it just keeps on giving. So we're just ramping up for that right now. I mean, that is just... I'm living and breathing and eating and sleeping Piano Heist right now.
So tell me a little more about the dueling pianos concept. Is this like what I would have seen in the old Warner Brothers cartoons, or dueling banjos? Are you both playing piano at the same time?
Yeah, in fact, there is actually a dueling banjos reference in the show, so you're already on the right track. You're already on the right track. We do a little section, I don't want to spoil it, but we take Mozart's Rondo alla Turca and imagine that, but in South Carolina at a hoedown with banjos. So it's hoedown alla Turca.
So some fusion
There's
music.
some fusion going on. But the idea of the dueling pianos, I mean, historically, you look at like Victor Borga, people like that, they sit down at a piano, one guy plays, the other guy plays, and they're trying to outdo each other, or there's some element of sabotage. We've sort of taken that whole idea and flipped it on its head. So the show itself is an attempt to, well, hopefully a successful attempt, to work through, celebrate, and articulate and interpret over 300 years of piano music. So we start with Bach, Mozart, Brahms, Beethoven, and we end with Freddie Mercury, Chick Corea, Jerry Lee Lewis, Elton John. So there are moments where we are definitely taunting each other a little bit, having a little bit of fun with each other, challenging each other. And there are other moments where we are just celebrating the music and our friendship. And the whole thing is sort of a theatrical experience in the sense that we are under the watchful eye. We are trying to prove to the world that the piano is the greatest instrument of all time. And let's just say that there are threats lurking that we have to address. There's a betrayal, there's redemption, but most importantly, there's just a whole lot of piano music, like a lot of piano music.
So this sounds like an ambitious project.
Yes.
Who's your favorite composer that you're playing?
Oh my goodness. I think my favorite composer that we're articulating in the show would be Chopin, Frédéric Chopin. Again, not too many spoilers, but another take. We play Frédéric Chopin's Fantaisie Impromptue, and we also play the Nocturne in E-flat major. It's a melody that everyone knows. If you think you don't know it, Trust me, you've heard it in an elevator somewhere, I guarantee it. Patrick plays the nocturne, and then I actually come on stage directly after him, and again, turning things on its head. I play the entire piece as a turn-of-the-century, Scott Joplin-esque ragtime bombastic piano solo. So Chopin would be my all-time favorite in this show, and maybe all-time, but it's tough. I mean, some of those Elton John tunes, you get people singing in the audience, and it's like, that takes my breath away. It takes my breath away, for sure.
I don't know that I've ever met someone who can play piano bilingually, so that's pretty awesome. I'm just teasing. So I didn't get to see the show that you played in Nanaimo already. When is your next show?
Well, I actually I brought notes because my head is like a sieve. On the 25th of January, we'll be back at the Port Theatre at 7:30 p.m. We still have some tickets left, although it's starting to fill up. Then on the 26th, we're going to the Fannie Bay Hall. The 27th, we're going to the Tidemark Theatre in Campbell River. The 28th, the Mary Winspear in Sydney for a matinee show. And then the 4th, February the 4th, we're going to Tofino at the Legion before we head off to Saskatchewan, Alberta, Ontario, and the Western United States seaboard over the next year or so. So it's 2 Nanaimo boys going out and just making a lot of music. And, you know, I say this every time, it really is a love affair between us as friends, but also with our community. We have tons of support from our music teachers, our parents, and just musicians at large and community members at large. So it's been a real treat. It's a lot of gratitude.
I am super excited to see it. You heard it here first, folks, the North American tour. Thanks. We're going to go over to Elspeth now.
Thanks, Jeremy. I'm here with Jennifer Baker from On Track Wellness. Welcome, Jennifer.
Thank you so much. I'm so grateful to be here.
Well, we're really excited to have you here as well. So tell us, as we're looking at the new year, what is On Track Wellness?
So On Track Wellness is my business where I have developed many different services that are all about keeping people on track with their wellness. And predominantly, I do most of it through the healing with essential oils.
That's wonderful. And it sounds like, you know, you've got so many things that you do, but what was it that led you to develop this plethora of services that you offer through On Track Wellness?
Well, it's kind of started when I was in the hospitality industry, and it was killing me. Like literally the stress from the hospitality industry is really, really hard on the body. And so I had to figure out how to do it differently. So I started with a company called Young Living, and it's an essential oil company. And I just really, it just became passion for me to understand that we can heal in the way that our great, 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 great grandparents did with plant matter. So I jumped in and I learned everything about it, and I started getting all the chemicals out of my body.
That's amazing. And it's amazing to think about essential oils being your gateway into that. And there's so much we can ask about that, but you didn't just stop with essential oils. You moved on in your journey.
Yes, well, I did the essential oils, which I started with the raindrop technique, which is proprietary to Young Living. And I did that for about 3 years. And then it was just all of a sudden, it was like learning about how crystals heal the body, understanding that everything that we do is 100% energy. So that got me onto the journey of Reiki. And then I became an oracle card reader. And then I became an astrologer, right? So it was just like, it just seemed like every corner I turned, there was a new modality that I could use to help heal people so that they could feel better in their bodies.
I mean, that's amazing. And it really does sound like you went through a journey as you have explored all those things. But one of the most amazing things in your journey is that you haven't kept it to yourself, that you really want to share it with other people.
100%.
And
I don't think that we can be a better society without sharing where there's other ways other than doing the traditional Western way of healing. There's a place for everything. But if we don't share and we don't know and we don't have that passion to want to help, like just hug people and help people and give them the opportunity to know that there are other ways to feel whole and happy and and want to help others.
Absolutely. And your journey has brought you now to something new that you've developed.
Yes.
Endocrine massage. Can you tell us about that?
When you listen and you kind of go through talking to a lot of different people, the one thing that I heard the most from people is that it's predominantly women, is that their hormones were out of whack. They were tired, they had brain fog, all the things. So I just took my big Bible of essential oils and I started researching. Wow. And that was, to me, just to be able to give back to people that just wanted something to feel better, predominantly as we're getting a lot of women that are coming into a menopausal stage.
Absolutely.
But we can also do teenage girls as well.
Yeah.
Right? So the endocrine massage has just been developed. It's about 4 months old. And I love it. And a lot of women are getting a lot of satisfaction.
I'm sure. It sounds like such an incredible potential impact for so many people. Mm-hmm. So if people want to get in touch with you, I'm sure they have lots of questions and would like to know about your services. How do they get hold of you?
On Track Wellness is my website, right? And then my Facebook page is On Track Wellness, right?
Excellent.
So, and my email is tatluv2@gmail.com.
That's wonderful. I hope everyone caught that. It was wonderful chatting with you, Jennifer. And now over to Teresa to learn about something very wonderful happening in our community.
Thanks, Elspeth. I am so happy to be here today talking about the coldest night of the year. And I've got Jennifer and Corrie here to talk to me about coldest night. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
It is so exciting that coldest night of the year is happening again this year. Can you tell us a little bit more about it? What is it?
So it is an annual walk. It's a national event that happens across Canada and the U.S. So there's multiple ones on the island. And so Island Crisis Care, where we work, we host 2 walks, one in Nanaimo and then one in the Oceanside area.
That is exciting. It's February 24th in 2024. That's the way we remember the date. And I'm really excited because I'm going to be walking it for the 9th time this year. My team of powerful women, we're going to be walking in it. And can you tell us, Corrie, where are the funds going that are raised in the communities here?
Well, Island Crisis Care Society has been operating in the community for over 30 years, offering supports from housing all the way up. More recently, we've been implementing some life skills programming, some employment programming for people that face barriers. And so the funds that are raised in the event, both in Nanaimo and in Oceanside, stay in those respective communities and go towards programming that really impact people's lives who've faced really incredible challenges in terms of homelessness and substance use, mental health. And the money or the programs that are funded by this money are making a huge impact in people's lives. It's incredible.
I love that the funds are staying here locally and in all the places across the island and across the country. The money stays local,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
Right. So what can people expect? Do they sign up to walk? How does it work?
So there is a website. So for us, it's cnoy.org/Nanaimo. And then people can sign up either as a team or as an individual walker or as a volunteer. So if they want to help out day of at the event. And so then as a team or as a walker, people have their own fundraising page where they can have their friends and family or coworkers, whoever, donate to them as a walker. And if they raise $150, they get one of these hats. Yes. These are the 2024 toques for the event. And then they get handed out day of the walk. And then also for youth, if they sign up as a walker, if they raise $75, they get a hat. And then people are able to go on the website and they can see in real time where we're at with donations, where they are at with their team. And then we've even had some teams, they go on and do kind of like a friendly competition with other teams to see who can bring in more. So it's a really neat way to be able to see how the event is doing in that time. And then it also shows our sponsors. So for example, this year in Nanaimo and Oceanside, we had one company come on as our lead sponsor for both events, which is great. So we had Main Road Contracting come on with us this year. So we'll be able to showcase everybody who's helping out with the event.
Great. And I've got to say, I love the hats. I know. I have a collection at home. I should have brought some to show. I wear it when I'm out hiking, and they're a fabulous way to keep kind of the spirit of Coldest Night of the Year walk going all winter long.
Well, and it's a good way to remind us, right, when we're cold and we need to be warm, that there's people out there that don't have a place to be warm. And this walk that's what it's all about. It's about showing our community that there are people in need that need a warm place to be. So.
And I think this year probably more so than ever, we really need to support local and help people in need. Yeah. So let's encourage everybody to go out and register. Registration is free.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, it's free to sign up. So people can even, it's great when people fundraise, obviously, but also for us too, just showing the community support. So people can sign up as a walker and come to the event and participate. It's either a 2K or a 5K walk. And then at the end of it, they can come to the location, which is St. Andrew's Church. And then there's a warm meal and that at the end. So yeah, it's going to be a fun one.
That's great. And so you're hoping for, I think, 500 attendees?
Yeah, there was about 500 that signed up last year. So depending whether or not people come, but it's a big, fun group of people. And then people can decide which walk they want to do and come out and see what's going on.
Yeah, that's great. And we got to wrap it up. I'm getting the signal. But we want to raise quite a large amount of money. So let's get out there, everybody. Let's get out there and help Jennifer and Corrie and the ICCS raise funds to stay local. Kevin, you're up.
Thank you, Teresa. I'm your host, Kevin Wagner, and I'm joined today by a very special guest. We have with us the Member of Parliament for Nanaimo Ladysmith, Lisa Marie Barron. Lisa Marie, thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks, Kevin. Happy to be here.
Excellent. We're just kicking off the new year here at Act 3, and you've been here tonight. You've seen a lot of wonderful people talking and some great messages out there. What are some of the topics or messages you're hearing from your constituents in Nanaimo Ladysmith?
Yeah. So first of all, I'm excited to be here, and it was such an honor to be able to be here and see all the amazing people that have been here talking about the ways that they're contributing to our communities. Absolutely, as the Member of Parliament, I have the honor of talking to people in Nanaimo Ladysmith. So the riding that I represent is quite large. Mm-hmm. So it's Nanaimo Ladysmith is the name of the riding, but it also includes Lanceville and Ladysmith and Gabriel Island and Protection and Cedar, and more in that riding. So there are a lot of constituents in the riding, and I pride myself on taking the time to ensure that I'm out in the community, that I'm talking to people and hearing from them. And it is challenging times for many. There's a lot of people who are struggling to make ends meet. We're feeling the impacts of the climate crisis. There's some real challenges that people are experiencing. But I also can't help but notice over and over again the incredible community that we live in, and the ways in which people in our communities are giving back. It's always nice to see that in times of struggle, how people come together and just really step up. I'm thinking about, for example, over the holidays, I had the honor of joining some volunteers at Loaves and Fishes here in Nanaimo, and seeing the ways that, just they're dedicating their time to be there and to give back to those who are in need most in our communities. And we know that the people who are in need are continuously rising right now, which is sad to see, but we're seeing people that are stepping up and giving back. You know what, just this morning, actually, I met with a group called Bikers Against Child Abuse, BACA, and talked to them about the ways that they are there for children, to provide them support, and family is what they call them, at that time, in a time of need. there's just so many examples in my day-to-day of people that are giving back, and that just really keeps me going.
Absolutely, and it's always interesting to me when how a community will rise to their feet in times of crisis or times of support if there is a loss within the community. Like you talk about community, it's it's sometimes some of the more challenging times where you see maybe the best people that kind of rise up to contribute and help out. And like you were saying, like tonight we've had a great array of guests that are part of those great efforts.
Yes, yeah, we definitely live in an incredible place. We're very, very lucky, and there's also some real challenges that we need to make sure are being addressed in Ottawa. So my role is to ensure that I'm representing the people here at home in Nanaimo, Ladysmith, and going to Ottawa and bringing that, those challenges forward, but also bringing those strengths forward that we're talking about today, and sharing with all of Canada why Nanaimo, Ladysmith is such an incredible place to live.
And I can't imagine that's any small task. You talked about the large geography of people you represent, those communities. Everyone has kind of their individual challenges, but the communal challenges from different parts of this entire area that you're talking about, they can be many and varied. And you have a lot of concerns to bring to Ottawa and try to find ways to help the communities address those very concerns. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, we are a diverse community. There's a lot of different needs in the community, but there are some themes as well. I am hearing consistently about people struggling to make ends meet. I am hearing about people needing access to healthcare, as an example. And this is why I wanted to take a moment, Kevin, to share with you that there are some really positive things that are happening. For example, we are seeing the biggest expansion in public health care in generations happening with a dental care program that's rolling out. So that's really important for people to know. Right now it's rolling out for seniors, for children and youth under 18 and under, and for people living with disabilities. But overall, it'll be rolled out to people who need access to dental care under 90,000. So actually, 89,999. A lot of nines in there. Right. That's right. So that's rolling out now, and it's going to be available to people who need it most. It'll save $1,300 a year for people in dental care. So it's really important to recognize head-to-toe health care and people having access to the care that they need. Our teeth are not separate from the rest of our body, so that's a really big win. The other win, of course, is around pharmacare. We're going to be hearing more information at the end of March around people gaining access to the medications that they need. So two big healthcare announcements that are happening right now.
They are, and one of the many topics that is kind of high priority for so many of your constituents and people across the province and the nation. So that's great. Lisa Marie, thank you very much for taking the time to join us. I appreciate it and sharing with us that information. And
thank you.
We look forward to the new year ahead. I'm hoping for good things.
Thanks, Kevin.
All right. Thank you again for joining us. We're going to throw it over to Kathy now.
Well, that's it for another episode of Act 3. And as always, we're delighted that you came and joined us on this program. It's so wonderful that we have so many people participate in this program. Everyone here is a volunteer. Our guests tonight are all volunteers. And they're all here to make sure that we give you the messages that we want you to know about that are happening all over Vancouver Island. But one of the things that still sticks with me during this season is how important it is that we're there for each other. And for those seniors that are at home and don't necessarily have a way to get out to community, it'd sure be great if you can knock on their door and show them a little bit of love. I also want to think about some of the unhoused people in our community, those that are suffering with mental health, addiction, those that are cold, that need a little extra support. And while the coldest night of the year is able to help us on that one occasion, they actually help us 24/7 all year round, as do many of the wonderful agencies all over Vancouver Island. So I invite you to participate wherever you can. And if you have a little extra to share, sure, we know there's lots of places that need it, but think about what's important to you and your family and give accordingly. In the meantime, we'll see you next time on Act 3. We're delighted to bring you more wonderful guests. We're so delighted to be here for Season 3. We'll see you next time. Enjoy your day, everybody. Bye for now.